along with Brian Ballo, historians, co-hosts of the weekly podcast Backstory, with the backstory of climate change, global warming. Brian, Nathan, thank you both so much.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
And you're listening to Here and Now.
On the next Fresh Air.
So your family is like rich?
We're comfortable.
That is exactly what a super rich person would say.
We talk with Kevin Kwan, whose best-selling novel Crazy Rich Asians has been adapted into a new film. The story is inspired by his childhood in Singapore in a crazy rich family. Join us.
The next Fresh Air is Thursday afternoon at 1 and Thursday night at 9 on 91.9 KBCR.
Next time on Ask Me Another, we're joined by Aquafina, the comedian, rapper, and 1/8 of Ocean's 8. She'll tell us about landing a role in this summer's other blockbuster, Crazy Rich Asians, plus a special cameo by Drag Race champ Sasha Velour. So join me, Ophir Eisenberg, for NPR's Hour of Puzzles, Word Games, and Trivia.
Saturday afternoons at 2 on 91.9 KBCR, where you learn something new every day.
Funding for Here and Now comes from the listeners of WBUR Boston and from Babbel, a language app that teaches real-life conversations in a new language, like Spanish, French, and German. Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons are available in the App Store or online at Babbel, BABBEL.com. And Landmark College, serving students who learn differently with faculty specializing in LD support, associate and bachelor's degrees, transitional bridge semesters, and summer programs for college and high school students. More at ldbridge.org.
It's Here and Now. We're remembering the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. She died earlier today at the age of 76 at her home in the Detroit area. She had advanced pancreatic cancer. Stevie Wonder and Jesse Jackson were among those who paid their final respects to her earlier this week. President Trump tweeted about Franklin, "She was a great woman with a wonderful gift from God, her voice." Former President Obama and Michelle Obama released a statement. In part, it read, "In her voice, we could feel our history, all of it, and in every shade." We're joined now by NPR's Eric Deggans. Eric, you were a music critic before you were a TV critic, and you were also a musician in a band that was signed by Motown Records. Who knew? Eric, Aretha Franklin began singing solos in the church where her father preached, and gospel was in her blood. Let's hear first some of Mary Don't You Weep.
Rock and pop, and even did work in classical music. She cemented the idea of the modern R&B diva with her great stage costumes and her sweeping hairdos and her regal
That would have been
manner
awesome, Albie.
and her incredible talent for singing, knowing just how to bring the most emotion out of a song and bring those gospel flavors into whatever she was singing. She transcended this idea that gospel singers couldn't sing secular music, or that R&B and soul singers couldn't have pop hits, and she supported the civil rights movement when it needed her most, and she also resurrected her own career in many important times, doing some of her best work for Atlantic Records after Columbia Records couldn't really provide a great home for her, and then moving on to Arista Records and to have hits in the 1980s. She was just an amazing artist.
And you mentioned how she illuminated the works of so many songwriters, among them, of course, Carole King and Jerry Goffin. Here's Aretha performing "Natural Woman."
honors. There's Carole King in the balcony freaking out at Aretha Franklin
As one
singing,
would.
as one would. But, I just want to ask, she was royalty, the way she presented herself, and we're seeing all these pictures today of her as a young woman, completely humble. But could you just put your finger on what she became, what she was to us? Approachable, but not. She was separate.
Well, she was authentic, is what I would say. She was always Aretha, no matter where she appeared. And what was interesting about her is that she can take a song like Natural Woman that was written by somebody else, or Respect, and make it her own. And, so Otis Redding had to acknowledge that even though he recorded Respect first, she's the one who made it into a classic. And Carole King, of course, has always tipped her hat to Aretha as the woman who made that song, legendary. And beyond that, she also co-wrote some really signature hits like Think and Rock Steady. And she co-wrote Who's Zooming Who even in the 1980s. So